Hey everybody, I'm Spectral Star, and welcome back to Stygian, Reign of the Old Ones. I am your pretty much commentary slave for today, and let's go ahead and get back to finding the Dismal Man. Oh no, we's hungry. Let's check that out, actually. A few things I want to do today. Oh, I guess character list. Yeah, mild hunger. That takes our stuff down a little bit, -1. What I want to do is, you see, this guy, he loves keys, so I thought, hey, let's sell him some keys and maybe some other stuff. I don't know. Pretty much can't give him money because that's just toilet paper. Even though toilet paper is probably just as handy in this world as it ever was. Especially, well, actually, more so, because of the horrors. May I see, I'd like to pay with SIGs for your wares. I have all the SIGs I need. What if someone were to bring you a special key worth more than anything you have here? Very well, I see your point. I will accept SIGs in payment, but only from you. I thought I might have already done that. But let's see what you've got. Alright, put the keys in. These keys are worth 26 apiece. That's nice. 16 here. And as you can see, it says non-craftable. It even says it on the keys, non-craftable. So I wonder if selling the silver stuff, I ought to wait, though. I feel like I need to wait and go to the pawn shop and sell this stuff. Like, I might sell Cornelius's watch. I don't know. It kind of feels like a bad idea at this point. But whatever, you know. So anyways, I believe if you hit this little icon, you get the cigarette amount that you want. Now, this dude, he does have items like this, but let's make sure we're getting the most out of our money here. The bang for our buck. And there are a lot of things here I would like to have. Like, these are ridiculous items. Let's look at Papa Twilight's top hat. The hat of Louisianan voodoo priest Papa Twilight. Awesome. Voodoo relic. Power grants the wearer increased supernatural defense. That is awesome, and most of these items are like that. Really cool. Okay, so let's get our money. There's no food here. He doesn't sell food. That's why we need to go to the pawn shop. Or the medicine shop, maybe. I don't know. I think we need to go to the pawn shop first. I don't think the medicine shop's going to have what we need as much as the pawn shop will, because the pawn shop sells a variety of goods as opposed to Captain Drug Dealer. Let's just skip on by. Skip on by this man. Here we go. This world is really neat. I love it. And we did run out of rations last episode. Fighting lunatics, man, it's not easy. And I feel like our sanity needs to go up too. Oh, wow. Hello. Well, we'll come back to that. No power can force me inside. That's fine. You stay out there. I'm surprised they haven't thrown rocks at you again. I'd like to trade. How about a discount? How about a smack in the face? Speech crack. Then you sure must be hanging near the arse of this rotten town. Okay. Okay, well, whatever. Anyways, we've already got our discount from this guy, so whatever. Alright, so this stuff sells for about the same. Not surprised. So we're going to sell all this. This is mostly stuff that is non-craftable. I'm going to sell these weapons, I think, would be a good idea. Because we're going to buy some more bullets, too, while we're at it. Right, let's see. Give us some SIGs. There we go. We got some more SIGs now. Let's buy... Is that the 22 rounds? I believe it is, yes. We also need food, so we need to sort out the food first. Food is important. We're going to get all these. All these. This is spaghetti. Suppresses hunger. All food transforms into rations, I believe, at the end of the day, so you know, whatever. Alright, and we need bullets. 22 ammunition. Bam. So now let's trade. We got 4 and 54. 293. Bam. I feel like we're doing a lot better already. So, what does this do? Liquor base? Really? It's corn, though. Okay, well, whatever. Is this a liquor base, too? No, it's actually just regular firewood. Well, I feel stupid. Alright, let's go back outside and see what's happened to this body that's been riddled with bullets. Is that Julian? Poor boy. Heartless maniac. Killed him. Talk to this guy. The Arkham resident is looking at the mutilated corpse as if hypnotized by the slowly burgeoning pool of blood that threads its way through the cobblestones of the doomed town. He doesn't look like he's enjoying himself while looking at the corpse. Poor fellow. Man suddenly starts shouting, "The stabber! The stabber is killed again!" Stabber? The Arkham stabber! Where have you been living, sir? I think this is the third victim. All butchered, stabbed until they end up like poor Julian here. Well, you mean like a honeycomb? You think this is funny? Wait until he comes for you and then we'll see how funny it is. Julian, you know this man. He said, not a bad fellow, used to stay at the Essex Hotel. He didn't deserve such a fate. Nobody deserves. Looks at the hardly recognizable corpse on the ground in horror. That. Okay, what do you know about the Arkham stabber? Nobody has any idea who he is. Even the mob can't catch him. Some say he's a demon. Others speculate that he's a loony of the worst kind. How do you know the stabber is a he? I don't. He could be a she. Would only be fair after what those brutes did to all the... He becomes aware of the mob fist standing nearby. Never mind, I better go. Alright, see ya. Whoa, Jesus. This man is rabid. He has the rabies. As you are about to leave the site of a gruesome murder, you notice something odd about the hobo standing nearby. The man begins to shake as if in the throes of a seizure, and his pupils transform to black, from black to murky white. Abruptly, he kneels as if possessed by an unknown force, dips his hand in the pool of blood on the pavement, and begins to draw a star-like symbol on the ground with the dead man's freshly spilled bodily fluid. Ugh. As you are watching this scene in bewilderment, the milky eyes turn directly at you, and the broken man speaks in an ominous tone, completely alien to his appearance. Your path crosses with the dead one. This simple flight of soul will uncover more. Lord, Corley, a dead fellow. I don't remember. Let's check the body. Upon immediate scrutiny, you deduce that his wounds, which extend from collar to groin, were inflicted by a broad blade with a singular, almost preternaturally keen edge. Every single thrust perforated right through muscle, sinew, and bone. Alright, let's talk to the guy that just lost his mind. Man abruptly comes to his senses and stands up looking puzzled. Seeing the state of his hands, he goes into a tizzy. What happened to me? Am I hurt? That's not your blood. It's not? Then why is it all over me? He begins to convulsively rub his palms against his dirty clothes as he walks away. I don't want to say nothing crazy to this guy. What about this kid? Let's talk to this man. Two of the mob's cannon fodder are speaking below their breaths. They're unaware of your presence. Corley, it seems the stabber sent another fella to the big sleep. Should I bring word to the face? You get paid to be this dumb, Marlin? He points at the corpse with his chin. Does it seem like a man of the face to you? No, Corley. Then think about it. Is it really necessary to take this whole face ourselves? Don't you remember how mad the boss got when the gumshoe Wilkins failed to find the psycho stabber? Wilkins? You watched the burly man struggle to compute the information. You mean that fatso detective whose arm we cut off? The one staying at the eel? See, you can be smart when you need to, Then you must have been there. You must have been there when the boss got hot under the collar after that idiot Wilkins told him he couldn't find out who the stabber is. That was a lot of words at one time, Coily. Let me think. The boss got mad that day, So, do I take some word to him or not? The man sighs deeply. Marlon, I sometimes sincerely wish I was a fucking wall. You know, pointing at a nearby wall. Like that one over there. A simple, unpainted, indifferent brick wall. A wall? Why is that, Coily? So I could simply be, without needing to comprehend your bullshit, Marlon. The mob gun takes a deep breath. Look. I plan not to be around when the boss learns that the stabber psycho is still on a rampage. You better do the same. He looks at the corpse on the floor one last time. He's not one of us anyway. Who gives a crap? Let's beat it, Marlon. Turning to leave, the two mobmen spot you standing nearby. What the fuck are you looking at, sheep? I heard the ARKHAM stabber struck again and came to see for myself. Let's say I overheard a few things. Oh, you did you? You, know what kind of, sheep get cut first? The ones that make too much noise. Now, are you one of those sheep, or are you one of the good sheep? The kind that, live longer. Perhaps I am a sheep with connections in the right places. If you're smart, I think we can keep this little scene between ourselves. You watch the mob gun weighing you with his eyes before turning to his friend Marlon. Throw the sheep 10 cigs. With a ton of protest, the big one answers. Me again? But I'm almost broke, Coily. I paid your debts in the last game, remember? Small price compared to the one I'm paying to enjoy your company, Marlon. Now shut up and pay the sheep, please. The burly one reluctantly passes you 10 cigs. Pleasure doing business with you. Mob gun comes disturbingly close and looks you right in the eye. If I ever hear about this, I'll make sure you won't be taking pleasure from anything for the rest of your life. Know what I mean? I think I do. Goodbye. Alright, so that's something. Any more people to talk to? Let's go. Leave me alone. Okay, he's not gonna say anything. I guess, lost his fingers. I guess we're good. Let's go to the sleepy sleeps and get some snoozy snoozes. What am I talking like a baby for? Alright, hey, wait. This dude needs a morphine shot or something. With eyes weary, yet exuding anticipation, have you any news of Gwen? No, Jerry, nothing, I'm afraid. Hangs his head in despair and lapses into silence once again. Well, that sucks. Okay, let's go ahead and snooze. We can do physical exercise. Okay. That helps a lot. Occult research. What's new spells? There we go. Oh, come on now. Can we do it this way? Oh shit, we can. Okay, physical exercise. Reconnaissance. Hell yeah. Doing all kinds of business here. Gain 6 sanity and 7 health after some rest. Gain 2 sanity and 1 temporary damage resistance through exercise. Gained 3 sanity after some rest. Made progress in the occult research of Danforth's compass. Discovered the malediction of Danforth's compass. No health or sanity recovered. This character is already in a state of well-being. Investigated the surroundings from reconnaissance. Okay, so we found out what's going on with this item then. Oh, wait. This is probably a good idea right here. Okay. So what's up with this thing? Lower sanity gain from resting. Okay. Well, we do have rations. Are we still hungry? No, we're good. What's up with... Is my sanity just not going up at all? Now we gotta watch out for that angst. So, how do you fix your sanity? Like, how do you do that? Is there any way? Can I drink like some booze? Yeah, I can. Okay. I'm gonna get addicted to that shit, you know? Because I have terrible addiction, like, problems. Okay, alright. So now that we have figured all this business out, we need to look at the journal. Investigate the statuette. I thought we already did that. I mean, aside for the meaning of the poem, fulfill the dying wish of Cornelius, donate the pocket watch to someone in need. That'd be hard to come by in French Hill. You know, we could do that. Or we could sell the fucking thing and make a crap load of money. But should we? Also, when are we gonna leave this place? Oh, holy fuck. Let's check out this house. Door seems to be sturdily locked for a typical building of ARKHAM with such decrepitness. Knock on the door. You hear approaching footsteps and a blunt, uneducated voice is heard from behind the door. Who dis? Mr. Fredkin is expecting me. You hear the clicking of the lock and the door creaks to let you in. Okay. Wow, okay. Glad to see you this way. Drawer is locked. Coat hanger. Forgery of Geoffrey Larry Stempham's The Early Puritans of New England Going to Church, displaying a devout community heading to worship. I would look at all the paintings, but I probably shouldn't. Hello? You see Stanley sitting in the dark, looking pale and devoid of his former energy. As annoying as it was, he begins to whisper in a discomforting tone. But you can't place just what is bothering you about his voice. Welcome, sir. Thanks for coming on such short notice. Forgive my threadbare appearance. My studies have left me completely exhausted. Honestly, I ought to rest and recover. But I am so close to finding a way out. So close, it is worth testing the limits of this shell of flesh and bone. Okay, it seems you've solved the situation with the rustic-looking man. Oh, yes, it was a minor nuisance. He serves me well, within his rather limited ability, of course. So now you know how to leave this place. Precisely. Oh, yeah, it's the guy we've met in the bar. It is past time I leave this filthy nest of apes behind me forever. But as you can see, my ill health won't allow me to complete my work. I also have serious doubts that my current assistant is resourceful enough to aid me in the last stage of the process. And this is where I come in. See what I mean? I need quick reasoning and practical mind like yours to finish the job. Help me complete my work and you will accompany me. The only other person privileged to do so. Far away from this whirlpool of primal vibrations. How are you planning to get us out of here? I won't bore you with the highly technical specifics. Just know that my connections allow me to discover ways beyond the borders of man's limited science. If you knew what they taught me about the universe. Who are these connections? You'll meet them when you're ready to leave. Don't worry. Tell me what I need to do. Right to the point. I like that. A few essential parts are needed to complete my research. A long-wave radio transmitter, an electrical conductor, and some formaldehyde. Those items are the last things standing between us and infinity. Where can I find them? Unfortunately, you have to do that part on your own. My friend Richter at the drugstore would be a good place to start. Debauched as he may be, he seems to have the skills to aid us in this final phase. Alright, I'll talk to Richter. Excellent. My illness dictates that I rest now. We'll talk more later, my friend. And I have really hit up a buku of side quests. I'm getting story progression. Stanley Fredkin claims to know a way. Conductor part, transmitter, and go to Richter's drugstore. I guess we could do that. Fill a dying man's wish, cries of the marked, Cornelius. And we have a lot of side quests to do. I guess we're still kind of just walking around. Stanley has recorded anecdotes of his travels through Kingsport, Dunwich, and Innsmouth on this map, tracing the route he followed prior to his arrival in ARKHAM. The table is covered in a disorganized heaps of cables, machine gear, electronic receivers, a microphone, and an odd glass case. Stanley is the type who immerses himself in the minutiae. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. Of local folklore at any chance he can get. The book on the desk is a compilation of rumors about the Pocumtuck Indians of Dunwich and their supposed ceremonial practices. Judging by their contents, the shelf contains the personal notations of Stanley Fredkin, one of which contains his reflections on the phenomena associated with the simple country folk. These drapes have been left open to allow some of the little remaining outside light into Stanley's plainly decorated room. I want to see if he has anything more to say. Leave my rest now. Okay. This wooden tribal totem depicts a winged, six-legged mythological being from Himalayan folklore. Cool. In these desperate times where residents are denied the convenience of centralized heating, one must resort to old methods. The bright flames lend a nice, even warmth to the cozy and otherwise dull room. I love the writing in this. It's so good. Should we talk to the meathead? Or are we just going out? Okay. Sorry, I have to lubricate the palate in order. Let's talk to this guy. I bet he's got like some kind of item we can find, or item we can use. Okay, let me see what you got. A bell, camera, chemical filter. There's the conductor. At least I think that's what we need. We need a conductor. Let's see. Look at this. Senses. Hate that. Hate it. Man. There we go. Conductor part. Hello. Let me see what you got. Boy, let me tell you what. There's the conductor. We're just going to go ahead and buy it. Right out. And we're also going to check and see, does he have... Ground for a conductor part. We already have the conductor. Okay, alright. Transmitter. Okay, creepy man. This guy, they're just gonna leave his body there. It's kind of sad. Alright, Richter, we're coming to you. What in the hell? Oh, intoxicated. Apparently I'm under the influence. Awesome. Hopefully that won't stick. What? What's going on here? Okay. Can I talk to you for a second? You see a hint of unrest in the creature's movements when you draw near. Okay. How are you faring recently? Creature observes you with puzzled eyes. Why do you ask? We share the same journey. Isn't it a natural question to ask? Forgive me. I'm not accustomed to the notion of sharing. Continues with a note of shyness in his unearthly voice. I am fine. Good to hear. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's go. Make sure she's doing okay. Oh yeah, we still need to do her little mission thing. Kind of a little bit afraid to do it, but... Yeah, I know, not your kind of place. I don't blame you. People are assholes. I don't like them either. Alright, sir. I'm here for some formaldehyde. Alright, do you know where I can find a radio transmitter? Blech. A transmitter? It won't be easy to find such a delicate machine part in ARKHAM. He continues after a short pause. I would try the French Hill streets, though. I've heard a man called Dimitrescu resides there. I got a level. Continue. Okay, cool. Another thing. I'm here for some formaldehyde. Formaldehyde? What are you planning to preserve? A lifeless fetus, perhaps? Forget it. Who am I to question others' questionable pursuits? The truth is, I don't have any formaldehyde. It's a bit out of my field. That's what I figured, you fucking drug addict. Well, he's not a mortician. Do you know where I can get some? Let's see. The main component of formaldehyde turns out to be methyl alcohol. There should be a pretty high methyl alcohol output at the distillery because of that charlatan wheat's crude distilling methods. So if you can get me the methyl alcohol from the mob's distillery, I guess I can make you some formaldehyde. For a price, of course. And at last, I can preserve my dead fetuses in the back decently. Just joking. Or am I? Who is this wheat you mentioned? A drunk fraud who pretends to be the distiller of the mob. I've heard that his own whiskey brand was third class at best even before the Black Day. You can guess how primitive and graceless his products are. Another thing. I've heard some rumors about you. Oh, really? His voice goes ice cold. I warn you to shut your fucking mouth or those bimbos will shut it for you. Alright, another thing. That's it, I guess. Okay. Wait, my child, I'd like to give you a small present before you leave. He hands you a bottle of Coca Vin Marie. Why is that? Your tenderness gave me inspiration. That's why. Eek, go away. Keep your position. Eek. Oh, God. I should leave. Okay, so now we have levels. Let's add points to things. Okay. So I would like to put another point into firearms. And let's see here. We haven't used stealth that much, so... Guessing athletics. Yeah. And now for our perks and abilities. Yes. Agile Brawler, no. Alertness 1, +1 to reaction. Better criticals, +2% to critical chance rate. That would be cool. Clarity, +2 to maximum sanity. That might be helpful. Clarity. Did I say clanity? I don't know. Cold-blooded. Increased panic resistance. Haggler. Better prices from vendors. That might be good. Heavy hitter, melee. Shit. Innate power 1, +1 spellcraft. Luck of the totem. An artifact equipped. Critical failure chance -1. Medic 1. Improves health gain from medical items. Sniper. +3 ranged critical success chance. That could be nice. Supernatural resistance. Or resilience 1. This one supernatural defense. Tough 1. +2 to max health. Snapshot. A faster pistol attack that costs 1 less action point at the expense of a small shooting penalty. Oh, we have more. But they're not, you know, doable. I don't know. Sniper seems like something good to get right now. Supernatural resilience. That would be good too, though. +3 ranged critical success chance. I'm gonna go with supernatural resilience. Yeah. I think it's going to be handy. Alright. Medicine, melee, occult. I think he's good in occult. Melee would be nice. And we might as well do medicine. Keep him going. Aura of repulsion. Oh, outsider is less likely to be engaged by enemies. Decreases aggression. Oh yeah, I see that my cam has shut off again. I do that every episode, it feels like. Right. Increases aggression, huh? Hollow touch 1. Outsider shreds also inflict sanity damage and carry a small chance of making the opponent lose AP. Don't worry, the face cam will be back if you care about that. Wrath of Isolation increases melee attack, minimum and maximum melee damage by 1, and lowers maximum sanity by 3. Dude, Hollow Touch sounds beastly. It sounds amazing. Okay, so now for her. Definitely one in firearms. I think investigation would be good. Yeah. Mysterious dodge 1. Well, that's all we can pick. So, +1 to physical defense. Alright. Confirm. And we are done. When is this intoxication going to wear off? I wonder. Okay. So, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So my electricity went out and it killed my progress of what I was doing, and actually, to be honest with you, it's kind of a good thing that it happened, because actually going in here, I kind of want to do a little bit more research first before I go back in there. So we're just going to do the next thing I did after talking to this guy, or going in there. There's nothing in there. Nothing cool. Nothing spoilery. Nothing at all. So let's just go. Just continue on. It's a mystery room. We will explore it next time. I promise. Now, as for the pocket watch, I want to bring it over here. We'll go back and do that again later. I'll try to get it next episode. After I do a little bit of research on it. But the pocket watch, seems these kids are starving to death and need it. Amidst the bleakness of ARKHAM, as black as a raven's feather, the playful side of these urchins offers a rare, enduring fragment of innocence, struggling to cling to the putrefying roots of humanity. One among them, a scowling boy, approaches you, showing not so much hesitation as a juvenile curiosity. "What do you want, grown-up? We've got nothing you can salvage." He's trying to assert himself with a tough, unwavering attitude, suggesting they've been subject to nothing but neglect and mistreatment since the Black Day. The barrier of cynicism is what ensures their survival. No need to be alarmed, kid. I'm not like the other bad grown-ups. I've come to give, not take. "I don't believe you." He surveys you from head to toe with skeptical eyes. What? "But you might be needing this more than I do." Show him Cornelius's watch. The luster of the gold-plated watch is only eclipsed by the sparkle of wonder glinting in their round eyes. Is it for us, really? Nod. It should make ends meet for a long time. Being the famished, ill-fortuned orphans of the apocalypse they are, they unceremoniously grab Cornelius's heirloom from your hands faster than a ravenous wolf pouncing on its prey. Before you can even turn, they've already made it halfway down the street, shouting and bickering in excitement as they vanish into the midst of who knows where. Alright, so I'm a nice guy. You saw it, everybody. I'm a nice guy. Is there anything in here? I guess not. I believe all these things are... Okay, maybe not. Maybe this one is, though. Oh. It's a flyer. Let's take a look at it. Uncraftable documents. A souvenir of brighter times when the ostentatious show of an illusionist could cheer up the now crestfallen denizens of Arkham. Read it. Magnificent Horatio, the most delightful mystic of all times. Coming to Arkham's Gentlemen's Club. French Hill 17, South Arkham. Admission adults $1 and children 50 cents. Okay, cool story, bro. Can we actually... we can't. Rational characters, huh? Well, maybe she can read it. Or not. Well, he's not rational at all. Oh well, whatever. How are we doing on the rational front? We're doing a little better. Okay, so now that we've taken care of Cornelius's watch there, we did that, so could go talk to Detective Wilkins about the stabber. I thought we went to Victor Demetrius' house. I guess we didn't. That might have been part of the area that I screwed up on. Let's go ahead and do that then. The door is tightly locked, but there is a dusty button alongside, adjacent to a rectangular panel similar to a speaker. Ring the bell. A voice sizzles from the speaker. What do you want? I'm looking for a radio transmitter and a conductor. I've been told you might be able to help. Now, we already have these items, but I just want to go through this because it is another character. After a few seconds, a buzzing sound foretells the door being automatically unlocked. It is surprising to see working technology in this ruined town. Go inside. Oh, hi. Sorry. You don't possess anything to craft. Well, that sucks. See a middle-aged man with a strong aura of intelligence and discipline sitting next to some sophisticated radio machinery. He looks devoured by the effort he puts into these contraptions. May I ask who you are? I'm Roland Flagg. Oh, Jesus. Alright, Roland Flagg. The only reason I'm allowing you to interrupt my work is that you've excited my attention with your rather interesting requests. Would you care to elaborate? Let's just say I have a keen interest in radio technology like you. Is that so? Are you a man of science, Roland Flagg? No, but it is my best bet. I see many people out there have invented pitiful things, simply to have something to hold on to. I apologize, but what I'm doing here has real value to us all. Will you help me with the parts? Very well, young sir. Your direct approach also suits the constrained time frame of my work. I may have a spare conductor on hand, but the radio transmitter is another story. A story that I may also have a role in. Would you care to elaborate? He smiles thinly. I placed an order for some radio equipment and other electrical parts not long before the event I now describe as a planar shift. Okay. After the disaster, I was frightened and depressed as any other resident in this lonely town, but eventually my desire to continue my work helped me recover. Perhaps sensing it was my last resort, I returned to the lab. After some initial measurements and tests, I knew I was onto something. I knew that I was on the cusp of a discovery that could help us all. But just like you, I found myself in need of radio parts. What happened next almost cost me my life. I headed into the Marsh warehouse. I knew that my shipment had to be in there someplace. It was the early days of Waxface's rise, and the chaos in the streets gave me the cover I needed to enter undetected. There were things inside. Fear spreads on his face. Creatures straight out of the folk tales of my childhood. Varkalak, beast people. After I had nearly lost an arm to one of the monsters, I decided to leave the shipment where it was. I cannot complete the important work without myself, after all. You see what I mean? Then the transmitter is still there. I heard the warehouse was sealed, so in theory, yes. If you can somehow survive the Varkalak, you will find my shipment. He hands you the bill of delivery. A good rifle could have helped you against your animal problem. They were feral and vicious beasts, that's true, but they had certain traits which were, he struggles to find the right word, disgustingly human. There was a distinctly sinister consciousness in their eyes. The transmitter's still there. Alright. I already got the bill. Where's the Marsh Warehouse? It's in the Riverside District on an old brick building. You won't miss it, I'm sure. I'll find that crate. Is there anything else we can do? Victor is elbows deep in radio machinery. He glances up at you briefly. You've returned. Do you have any ideas about the origin of those bestial creatures? I knew this was an old town full of imaginary ghouls and ghosts. It saw the ARKHAM witch trials, after all. I, myself, grew up in a pretty superstitious country, so I can relate to the sentiment. But seeing these things in the flesh, he fiddles anxiously with a dial on one of his machines. It's hard for a rational man to accept the monsters from fairy tales actually do exist. Beyond the borders of the known, life can take surprising forms. Forms in which I am entirely uninterested. I advise you to be extremely cautious if you're thinking about a closer look. Another thing. What are you working on? I'm sorry, young sir, but it would take too much of my precious time to explain to a novice. Just know that my work may prove crucial to all of us. I am impressed. I would love to hear more about your work. Speechcraft. Since you're so interested, he looks tiredly, but proudly at his radio equipment. I've been working on a new long-wave radio. I began this undertaking long before the Black Day. I was producing my own 300-watt spark transmitters instead of the regular 250 and experimenting with batteryless receivers. Groundbreaking concepts for beyond the capacity of that thug Dennison. At the thought of the man Dennison, his voice briefly turns to a snarl. That! Dimitrescu gets himself under control. He is the reason I'm here. Okay. You mean the Dennison of the Dennison Company? Hearing the name definitely enrages him. That very same bastard, begotten by his mother on filthy sunflower seeds. This must mean something terrible in his home country. He comes to his senses again. The man stole my invention after enticing me into a partnership. I can't believe I trusted that Belangu. I don't know how to say that. While I was busy improving the prototype, he was stealing the patent behind my back. Did you take him to court? I did, but he was the great Dennison, a respected businessman, and who am I, a strange fellow with a foreign surname, graduated from the University of Lashie. To avoid becoming a murderer, I decided to get away from the accursed patent laws and come to New England, far from Dennison's grasp. I started working on a newer, better prototype. A much superior model that would transmit and receive signals across great distances. I was working round the clock, like in a fever, when the disaster struck. He is silent for a few seconds. Everything was ruined. The world had no meaning anymore. Nothing. Until I heard the signal. A thunderous frequency like some unknown entity trying to communicate with me. It was clear that this was a message. Soon I made an even more surprising discovery. The signal wasn't coming from anywhere in ARKHAM. It was coming from beyond. Wait for him to continue. My radio was receiving signals from another dimension, meaning I had a chance to communicate with the world we were separated from. If I can discover the source of the signal and extend my search range, I can further modify the spectrometer and we can establish contact with the world. How do you know the world still how do you know the world still exists? Dimitrescu looks you in the eye. At least I would know for certain one way or another. His attention returns to his surrounding gadgets. Another thing. Can we trade? I rarely have the chance to expand my inventory these days. This is assuming you have some interesting electrical parts to trade. Open trade screen. I do have springs, but I don't know if I want to craft shit yet or let him have my crafting parts. He has blueprint for 22 ammunition. That would be very handy. So would electric lantern heads. And the isolator, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so let's go back out. So now we can find this place now or later. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I'm not sure. I mean, this is blind after all. But we do need to get the methyl alcohol. We have a conductor. We can do that if we want. We can go to the distillery, I guess. Sure can't figure out what the poem means. Find the identity of the ARKHAM stabber. And we could do that. But I guess we should go ahead and start that. I think we'll start that now. So let's go to the eel. I'm hearing voices, whispers. Definitely not cool. The odd eel. We need to get over there and talk to the man running the investigation. Oh, shit. The horse carcass has started to bloat. It appears it was savagely mutilated before dying. Man, we really need to, like, get on this stabber guy, and quick. His swollen eyes and unending stream of tears sliding down his cheeks serve as a conspicuous evidence of this burly man's ongoing despair. The carcass has begun to stink horribly, yet he stays put, enshrouded in his sorrow. Oh God, you've taken everyone from me, everyone, and now my poor Lucy. How dreadful. You have my sympathy, mister. William is the name, but please forget about this incompetent, pathetic excuse for a man. Looks at the torn carcass on the ground. Lucy was more than a steed to me. She was a dear companion, and now she's gone. Yet no one hears my cries in this God-forsaken place, and to think I was a policeman. Pauses briefly and hangs his head in shame. Who couldn't even protect his partner? She was irreplaceable, huh? People, they only hang you out to dry, throw you to the lions, sell you out. His voice gets raspy with frustration. People deceive. Lucy, she never disappointed me. She was my one true friend. Oh, God. I agree. Especially ponies are great. I had the chance to meet a few in my lifetime, and they were all very well-mannered animals. I share your pain. Loved ones are the only thing that are left to us, whether man or beast. Humanistic. His self-pity morphs instantly into a fiery vengefulness. But they're dead wrong if they think I'll let them get away with this. I'll slaughter those beasts as they slaughtered my Lucy. He returns to his hopeless abandon just as quickly as he staved it off. I failed to protect her. How could I be so negligent, so selfish? I should have known you were cheating on her. Ugh. Weren't you at Lucy's side at the time of her death? Yesterday I left Lucy alone and went to the bar, just to forget myself for a little while. When I returned, she was decimated, eaten alive no less. Oh, my poor Lucy. Falls into tears. Did you catch sight of the attackers when you rushed to the scene? I wish I hadn't. He seems to be reenacting the gruesome incident in his mind. I started running when I heard Lucy neigh in agony from afar. Poor thing. On the way, I fired all my remaining ammo into the air. It was so dark I couldn't see much, but they had silhouettes of wretched, dare I say, dogs, and they grunted like hounds from hell. But one among the malicious pack was waiting in the shadows, a huge, hairless horror, for whom I believed to be their leader. That abominable monster waited on his subordinates to bring him the flesh of my innocent Lucy. In a sudden burst of fury, I'll rip his heart out. I'll venture into that warehouse and compel that grotesqueness to pay for his life for the pain he has caused me. I'll be entering that place shortly. You may need help facing that monster. You can come along. Thank you, sir. I am grateful. You look like a fine gentleman. I'll do my best not to disappoint you. Lead on. Oh, shit. Okay, so now we have this man. About the recent event. Okay. The outsider looks at the lifeless body of the animal named Lucy, then diverts his gaze to the weeping man. I can see that this man's love for the beast is turning him into a lifeless revenant blinded by pure anger. To be able to feel such a deep affection for a creature not shaped in the same form as himself. He was not simply the master of his beast of burden. He was much more. I find it admirable. This type of bond is something stronger than any other. Can we talk for a second? Yeah. I've made some observations on the crime scene, and I'd like to share my deductions with you if you care to listen. Of course, Sonia. What have you deducted? I've examined the carcass of this unfortunate animal, and I can assure you that these wounds weren't inflicted by man-made weapons. These are wide, deep, and uneven lacerations. The insides are torn away as well, probably by the aid of large canine teeth. By some ruthless monstrosity, it should have been devoured. That's very inquisitive of you, Sonia. Thanks. I've also further deduced about the aggressors were a pack, not a single one, as suggested by the footprint trail. Shows the claw prints on the ground. Thank you, Sonia. You sure have a keen eye for the inconspicuous. My pleasure. I'm glad you noticed. Okay, so we lost our hired help. And now we have this man, owner of a horse, owner of a lonely heart. Not my kind of place. That's okay. It's fine. You stay out there. Okay, now let's talk about the stabber, or whatever his name is. That's our old friend, isn't it? Oh, hey, here's a detective, I think. A bulky man with a missing arm occupies one of the grimy tables of the old inn. It appears he is struggling to drink his troubles away. The pain written on his face tells a different story. He ceases his agonizing for a short while to glance over at you. I have no plans to share the table, pal. Find yourself another spot to collapse, alright? Are you Detective Wilkins? Well done, you found me. You must be a detective too. He exhales deeply with a pained look on his face. What do you want from me? I'm also investigating the ARKHAM stabber. You're asking me the last thing I want to remember in this world? I lost my fucking arm over that psycho murderer. Shouts at you while struggling to open his whiskey bottle one-handed. Get lost. Open the bottle for him. What would change your mind? Do I fucking look like I want to discuss this? He looks at the remains of his severed limb. Do you know how that feels? The pain you can cope with if you're lucky. But the itching, the damned itching never relents. That's the real hell. Have you ever tried itching a part of you that ain't even there anymore? That's the way phantom pain works. No. That's good, because let me tell you something. You can't. Now leave me be so I can properly mourn over. You know, all the things I'd like to do with my right hand. Oh. Maybe I can help you with your condition. What can you do? I've heard people calling this phantom pain. How can you heal a non-existent arm? What about finding you a wooden arm? You think I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, you buffoon? If you're serious about helping me, talk to Richter at the pharmacy. He's the closest thing. We have a doctor now. He's the closest thing to a doctor now. God help us. I'll be back. Okay, now we gotta go talk to Richter. Am I still drunk? Jeez. When am I gonna stop being drunk? Okay, so now we need to go back. To Richter Belmont, the drug dealer. See what other mayhem we've got going on here. Basically, I'm talking to people so we can get more levels, and when we do fight again, we're not at that bad of a disadvantage, I guess. I mean, that's my understanding. These kids are back. What the fuck? I thought I got rid of you little shits. Where's the damn... Oh, wait. I think I might have passed it up. My bad. Okay, hello. Okay, there we go. Alright. Little hitbox there, I guess, under those feet. There we go. Richter, my bad. Yeah, you wait there. That's fine. Seems like we're just talking to everybody. But that's fine. Hello. A new one, surprising. Just when I thought I ran out of possibilities, I mean... No, wait, he's already said that. Do you happen to own something that would help with a symptom called phantom pain? Richter's glance suggests he's seeing you in a new light. Do you happen to be an organ donor? No, why? Let me see. First, you asked about formaldehyde, which is, as we both know, is used for the preservation of dissected organs. Then you come to my door again, asking for a mirror box. Peculiar. My guess is that you've recently severed someone's limb and want to give the victim some relief ahead of future operations. Your theory has no connection with actuality. I wasn't expecting a confession anyway. Actually, I have an old, dusty mirror box in the back. It comes in handy once in a while. He winks at you. 36 and it's yours. Here you go. Man disappears for a while and returns with the box in hand. There you go. The comfort of this thing provides I would adequate with giving a flower to a dead person. Another thing. See your stock. I don't think he has a fake arm swimming mask. Okay, cool. Really no fake arms. I guess we could be okay. Now we got the mirror box. Now, why did I get that again? Oh. Okay. So that does help. That's weird. I never even heard of that before. That's neat. Okay, so we're running low on SIGs, I would assume. But I guess that's the way it goes. Let's head back in here and relieve this man of his symptoms. Hello, good man. Good man, we have a mirror box for you. He ceases his agonizing for a short while to look over at you. Okay, this should help. Take out the mirror box. Place the mirror device on the table and adjust it to display a symmetrical version of Wilkins' intact arm. You can see his face as the persistent tension that's been bothering him is already fading. Give him some time to get himself together. Okay. Whoops, sorry. I mean to hit the microphone. Okay. That feels much better. The itching is gone. How strange that the brain can be deceived with such a simple trick. Thanks, sir. Much appreciated. You're welcome. Takes a big sip of cheap whiskey. Fire away. I owe you now. Let's talk about the ARKHAM stabber. He lets out a deep sigh. So you want to know about the stabber? Your choice. You still got 4 limbs after all. He forces himself to concentrate. When I was on the case, the stabber was targeting mob members. And naturally, this got the attention of Waxface. If you kill the king's men, the king comes back after you, right? The stabber was a threat to his authority. Somebody pissing in his backyard, so his men hired me to find the killer. He wants to preserve his image of invincibility. That's understandable. Look, you don't understand shit about that. He looks around anxiously and lowers his voice. Good Samaritan, the bringer of law, unseen Caesar, whatever. With the victims, what were their names? He clumsily pulls out an old notebook and finds a torn page inside. Salvador and Abel. No one important. Clueless, fresh recruits for the mob, that's all. When I looked out into how they were killed, and that proved interesting indeed. The wounds all pointed to one thing. A sword, and a big one with a broad blade. Pierced those fellows dozens of times, until they were human Garlanders. I've seen a lot in this profession, but that was ferocious. How did you proceed after that? With difficulty, Wilkins retrieves a cigarette from his pocket with his surviving hand and throws you a cautious look. Now, don't get me wrong, buddy, but in this business, even a small misinterpretation can mean punishment. And in ARKHAM, this punishment is almost always a horrible death. So for now, I'll keep what I know to myself. Come back when you have some information of your own and we'll talk about these things, alright? Alright. What happened to your arm? Okay. Wilkins turns his scruffy face to his empty sleeve. I made the mistake of taking a contract from Waxface. Now what do you want? Every gruesome detail of the damned incident? I'll be back when I know more. Okay, so. Our sanity has gone all the way back up. We're still intoxicated. I wonder how long that's going to last. That's crazy. Alright, so the journal. Mob members. Salvador and Abel were the first victims of the stabber. Wilkins identified the murder weapon as a sword. Now we got to make some progress with that. And yeah, but we're gonna do that next time. I'm Spectral Star. Oh my wamo, Kodoku.